I've, I've probably faced the side. I've probably been in a room that faces the front.
There's always in the back of my mind now, it's never to go back and never to be in that situation again. I was working at the time. I was managing a McDonald's out in Mississauga. We went out and I had gotten drugged at the bar. Don't remember anything else after that. Woke up in the hospital, came back, my clothes were all wet. I had just gotten my Christmas bonus and I was robbed of all my Christmas bonus, but $16 they left in my pocket. I was found passed out in the snow in an alleyway. Woke up to a bunch of missed calls from my work. I got fired. The place I was renting, they got a little weirded out because I lost my job and the circumstances of how I lost it. And so I was evicted. Then, couldn't find a place to have my own because I had no job. And so I resorted to shelters. There's things in life that principles in life and, things that you never thought your life, like where your life would go. And one of them for me was not to be homeless or to be on the streets. And that's exactly where I found myself. And to have to come to somebody and ask them for help and at one of your lowest points it's tough. There's definitely a sense of fear there. You're always, keeping your head on a swivel, watching everybody. Somebody gets a little too close, you kind of back away. Don't try not to get too close to anybody because you don't know who they are, what their intentions are, what they're about. It was a revolving door of people, and so there's always strangers. There's always new people, always having to be on guard. You have to dry your clothes because of bed bugs and stuff, bed bug scares.
It was the first time I'd ever experienced bed bugs in my life, and my whole back
was so bad.
covered.
Yeah, and then having to go into a room. I was 20, 21, 22, having to share a room after, living on my own since I was 17. And with all these strangers and everything. The shelter was closed for the whole day. So you had to be out. You wore your shoes from the time you woke up to pretty much the time you went to bed. You couldn't take them off. So yeah, there was your feet weren't sometimes in the best of conditions, and hygiene-wise it was tough. I never socialized, so I never really hung around other people. So didn't really get that dirty. Didn't go to other people's places. Didn't go to I'd go and walk around the city a lot and, sit at parks and stuff like that and just think. My day-to-day was just wrapping my whole head around the scenario I was in. And I knew that in the back of my mind it was how do I get out of this? How do I find a job? How do I get get a lease for a place? How do I get back on my feet? I wanted more of a career, find something that I was going to do for the rest of my life. And then I got a little more social and opened up to people and not really career oriented anymore. It was just, have fun with this situation as much as I can. Started drinking a lot more, smoked a lot of weed, and yeah, I got into some other things, stealing and stuff, and just causing trouble sometimes, or not really trouble, wasn't really looking for trouble, but that I don't care attitude. It wasn't so hard to break that, but it was just okay, now this is, I can no longer do that because now, I have bills to pay, I have responsibilities, and if I really want to get out of this, I need to focus. It's a lot easier to get on to welfare and stuff like that when you're homeless. So, but that money wasn't enough. It was, you were just scraping by. You got enough for rent, enough for a little bit of food, and now trying not to rely so much on the system and rely on myself. Yeah, it was a rough experience. It consists of struggling and like just, you're looked upon as like less than like subpar and like less than a person, and you're seen as, oh, you chose this. This is like, why are you in this? Like, why don't you just get out of it? And it's not as easy as just the snap of your fingers and you're done. Even in a job interview, it's like, oh, you're home, like, or you live in a shelter, like, oh yeah, I don't know. And it's just like, no, like my work ethic, it speaks nothing about like my situation or my living situation. There was a program that kind of introduced you to certain jobs, and one of them was the culinary. I always liked cooking, and found out that cooking was actually, and becoming a chef was a real, like, it was obtainable and it was like a real thing. And so did a program, then went to George Brown, did the culinary program, and have been doing that for, been now a chef. Chef is not just a title, it's like an understanding of the food and stuff. And so, I'm working towards that now. And, now I'm at a sous chef position, and, I'm working towards that, and I have goals to, maybe run my own restaurant. It wasn't that long ago. It was almost 10 years now that I haven't been in that situation. But yeah, go down to the Yonge Street area, walk by. There's a shelter down there that, I go by sometimes now. And, it brings back memories. Luckily for me, there was a lot more good than bad memories. They're fond. They're kind of humorous to look back on, and smells. Yeah, there are the smells of the streets. Some people that the homeless smell. There isn't quite a particular smell to it. My family was sad because I didn't reach out to them. There was a bit of shame there that I carried, and I didn't want to show them that I was this low. I won't ask for help until I like really need it. And it's like the last resort. So friends, surprised. They're like, I can't picture you in there. Like, how are you standing here? How are you doing this? Like, how do you have what you have? Like, it's just like hard work. It's a brief moment in life, and you'll come out a lot better from it. And don't be so afraid, and just stay focused, and always have a goal, and don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself, because you know who you are, and whether, you feel like, you feel really down, and there's bouts of depression and worthlessness, and and fear. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to, use the workshops, the resources that they offer you, but don't solely depend on it. The fact that you're trying and the fact that you're sticking to it is good, and it's gonna come. Just don't give up. Not everybody that is in this situation or has been in this situation it's a choice, or it's it doesn't make them any less than a person. And there's some fantastic people out there that go through some hard stuff, and one day they can be your neighbors, your husband, your wife, your boss, they're good people. They're just going through a hard time in life right now, and don't look down upon them. A smile, a hi, how are you, you know, goes a long way.